My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to the last Divinity. Ooh, double Vine Grasp, double Hallowed Drippings, a single copy of Memories of the Melted. We did have Melting Remnant and Awoken in the last episode. What are we gonna do with the, What are we gonna do with the Rectiflicker? Alright, let's have a look at this map. We've got a Divine Temple in the first area. Unless this is a unit draft, we probably don't have anything we want to super jump into it there. However, we do have Merchant of Magic, double Remnant Banner. The only problem is the double Remnant Banners there. Like, yeah, we've got things that lean in that direction with the Hallowed Drippings in the deck. Maybe we even go for a Burnout Rectiflicker. But we don't really have many spells that we really want to upgrade too much until we get a Rejuvenate unit in the deck, or if we do get a Rejuvenate trigger for something like Cultivate or Gain Spikes or something like that. Then the Restores are still just, they're fine, right? We got double deep removal. Gosh. There's a Divine Temple in each of the first 3 rings. God. I can't use 2 of them to infuse units, because then I'm up to 50 already before the 4th wall. Before the 4th ring, that is. Or maybe I can use 2 of them, but that's all I can do. Well, it really depends how the scaling effects go. The fact that I don't want to go Merchant of Magic here, Merchant of Magic here, is definitely pushing me towards Awoken unit here, Merchant of Magic here. And that's just because I don't really have that many spells that I really want to upgrade. It's not like I'm likely to get a huge amount of them soon anyway. Okay. Fine. We'll try and Burn Bright. Like a diamond. Hammered Chestplates, Root Split Mask. Hammered Chestplates is good. It's really good. Root Split Mask can be a way to completely save yourself. I'll take it. Do I take the money? Yeah. Yeah, because we go into the Merchant Magic in the first area. Unit draft. That's good. That's bad, though. Gonna need to try and set up as low as I can, but that's too low. To set up high, I think, instead. I don't like that. Okay, we got Vine Grasp. I'm really wagering that we're going to get a Hallowed Dripping by the next floor, because if we don't, then we just lose. But also, there weren't too many ways that we didn't lose, if that was the case. So I'm not too fast. Hey. Handsome steward there. Okay, we got it. So we've got the second unit down there. The health of my Rectiflicker on the top line is still not really it's in that kind of realm. Yeah, I don't see this working out too well for us. So setting up on the top row, was a play to try and prevent the first wave from hitting us, because that would have been a like 30 damage at least. Maybe I should have just accepted that. Oh, well, can I have that same starting floor, please? Because we've got 2 vents and 2 glimmers, as well as a pyre jumper in the base deck. We already have AoE on lock, got Rocks and Moxie, and we're rocking some brand new Soxies. And we get... So, Hornbreaker Prince being able to scale for us would be quite nice. That is to say, the Brawler allowing that would be quite nice. Sorry, Brawler, Reaper. Exact opposite of the one I meant. Whenever you play an Ascend or a Descend, also apply Daze 2. I actually like that a lot, because there are Ascends and Descends, or there's 2 copies of Ascend in Hellhorned, and there's 1 Descend in the other. Spikes deal an extra damage per step. Yeah, so Spikes are going to compete for a lot of our Slay triggers, so I'll take the Iron Dropcage here. I like the idea of using an Awoken frontliner, especially a Hollow, if possible. Not the spiked one, ideally. Yeah, enemy and superior on each floor should be okay. We have so many AoEs, and even if those fail, we have torches. Yep, that's that AoE we were talking about. Actually, what we do is we don't AoE this floor, getting ourselves the first kill on the Hornbreaker Prince. We'll AoE that floor, buying ourselves a line. A line's worth of time. Perfect. A single shiny suit up on this top floor sets up the Hornbreaker Prince to be able to kill the Apprentice of Light. Slay for damage shield, eh? I like the idea of you being a chump block here just for one more round of the Hornbreaker Prince being able to attack. I like that a lot, actually. So my backliner, if you get back to 6 HP, you're protected against another attack from the Discipled Inquisitor. Although we get the kill here, this goes up to 55. 1 hit, 2 hit. So you hit, I hit you back, you hit, I hit you back. So you get 100 damage from this. So yeah, we are going to need to heal the Hornbreaker Prince. So we torch you, restore you. Double restore on the front line also gets us an extra turn. Nice. And then a single restore on the back line takes us to exactly the amount that we needed for the kill. Perfect. Literally perfect. I really wanted to see an Ascend here. Molting Imp, Fortify, and Vent. We are already good at AoE, so neither the Molting Imp nor the Vent are getting a look in here. Fortify. I really, really don't want to have to put Fortify in this deck. There's very little armor. I guess it's a way to try and keep the Hornbreaker Prince in the backline alive. Through sweeps and things like that. We already have 2 copies of Vine Grasp in the base deck, don't we? Even if we don't, we already have a lot of individual single hits there. Restoration Detonation makes a lot of sense if we think that we are going to be going for a Hollow in the front line. I think I am going to be going for a Hollow in the front line. Or at least I'm going to be aiming for it pretty hard. Hoping to get it. We'll see. Merchant has Battlestone, +5/+10, and then the Endless. There's the Awoken Hollow. Exactly the one I was asking for as well. Do I even reroll here? Probably not, right? Spell Chain. Iron Chomper infuses for -4 costs on something. That could end up being actually pretty relevant. I'm not in a world of can I use Spell Chain? I'm in a world of only taking Spell Chain if it's part of our end game plan right now. Because in the next line, we're going to get another Awoken Banner. What other Awoken Banner do I want? I do want that Merchant of Magic. Concealed Caverns. Okay, you know what? Let's go to the logbook. We're playing a specific 2-clan combination here. I really wish that I could just like turn 2 clans on at the same time here, like Hellhorned and Awoken, and then it would show me all the Hellhorned and Awoken units at the same time. It's not gonna, so it's okay, whatever. Mastery, all time, yeah, don't need to look at that. Okay, cool. So, in terms of the Hellhorned units, Fragile, definitely not going on that frontliner. Apex Imp. Gains rage equal to gained armor. Doesn't necessarily have a plan to gain armor just yet. Deranged Brute. It really depends on if we start finding a bunch of rage and things like that. Rail Beater for extra armor on that frontliner. Not really. Anything that increases capacity? Pretty much certainly not. Although, actually, it looks more and more, as I look through this, it looks more and more like we're probably running a secondary floor. Let's look at the Awoken. Husk Hermit would be a pretty good... Husk Hermit, Edgeprior, but Edgeprior is not a banning unit. God, there actually aren't that many good infusers. So maybe we wait a really long time before we look for any infuse triggers. Now, it's worth noting, the Awoken Hollow uses it, so let's go through the Cultivate trigger for just a second. Cultivate, increase the attack and defense of a friendly unit with the lowest health by the Cultivate value. So that is almost always going to be targeting the Hornbreaker Prince. And that is how the Hornbreaker Prince is going to be able to survive things like sweep and things like that, right? But that also means the Awoken Hollow is not really going to be scaling that much. It means, like, right now, I can deal with this, because I can project my damage to the back line using things like Glimmer and you know, the torches and things like that. Later, this is not going to be fine at all, even slightly. What I would look for then is maybe a secondary unit that starts with an Awoken base, like a Awoken Animus of Will. Because that's a really good Cultivate target as well. And then I'd look for something to dupe into that. But in that world, I really still need an Ascend. I've got one more ring to find an Ascend. I don't think we do anything else in this ring. I'm staring down the barrel of not being able to scale our offense or project our damage as much as I would like. High Priest of the Light, thank heck. Thank heck we did what we just did. Without a Cultivate trigger here, we would just have died. Speaking of... Set up on the top floor to try and get some Cultivate triggers out. I mean, my Reaper can only get 1 unit per turn anyway. Restoration Detonation really wants to get this kill instead, though. Unfortunately. But unfortunately, that's definitely the best thing it can do. There's that. And we should be rolling in the gravy, baby. Please give me an ascend here. Come on. Thank you! Woo! Thank you. Okay. Do I take a Wildwood Sap now? Or a second copy of Restoration Detonation? It feels like if I'm getting a second copy of Restoration Detonation, I'm just going to upgrade the one we already have and then dupe it. Like a 0 cost for 20 kind of situation seems nice. If I could make this intrinsic... Oh, no, I can't make it intrinsic. Intrinsic permafrost? Maybe? I'm going to need to set up another unit on that top line. The longer I look at this, the more it feels like I take a Wildwood Sap anyway. Just to widen the ways that we can interact with the game. Permafrost. There's the 10. There's a -1. So 10 has a lot of good targets here. Glimmer, Glimmer, Vent, Vent. I'll put them on Glimmers rather than the Vents. The Vents can get like a +20, plus Consume. I'd happily have them consume at the end of the turn just to do 20 in anyway. The Emberstone here. Basically, all of the restores want to end up costing 0. Let's have a look at the Divine Temple. There's the Intrinsic on Seek Stone. There's also an Extreme Stone, 30 magic power. That could easily also go into Glimmer. Or actually the Restoration Detonation, indeed. Feeling more and more like a Restoration Detonation. So we'll look at the Awoken, and then we'll go to the Concealed Caverns, and then we'll see. Yeah, I was kind of worried about something like this. That Husk Hermit can just go into the Awoken Hollow, giving it +30, which is a lot of extra HP. The Thorned Hollow is harder to do in that way because it will... it'll give spikes, which is competing... Like, it's extra AoE, and we don't really need it, but it's the extra capacity that really kills that as a shot. Okay, so that Husk Hermit's almost certainly going in, but we'll see if the Concealed Caverns holds anything else for us. Friggin' well does, doesn't it? Spike Driver Colony. When am I next going to a Merchant of Steel? Like here? Really? Triggers when healed, even at full health. Yes. Yes. In case you're wondering, there is a part of me that is wondering if I take an Awoken Hollow and put it inside of the Spike Driver Colony. And then that floor, I just play Glimmer. And then that floor will cultivate all of the units. Wow. What am I really accomplishing with that, right? What I'm giving them is an incant trigger for +2/+2 that only works on 2 spells in the deck. Is that good? No, it's not. Now the automatic Railspike, that just getting an Extreme Stone for +30, that's a way to project damage right there. And also, I'm next to a Merchant of Magic. I can try and get another upgrade for the Awoken Railspike before. Palace the Guardian is going to be pushing back, but that's okay because we have the Cultivate triggers going off on that floor. It feels like the Spike Driver Colonies offer us the ability to actually scale. But the next area has a Divine Temple, and then it's got Hellvent, the Hellhorned Border, and Unstable Vortex on one side. So what? Am I going to go here, find a Hellhorn unit to put inside of the Spike Driver Colony? Because definitely, if I'm going to get a Spike Driver Colony like propagating its way through the deck, I'm going to want propagating its way through the deck because it extinguishes to add an extra copy of itself. I'm going to want it to have an infused unit in first, right? Because then I'm getting a huge amount of value. The only problem is I want to infuse here, and then that takes me on the opposite side of this Merchant of Steel, which means I now need to go to this Merchant of Steel just so that I can try and upgrade the Railspikes. I'm on the 6th area, right? I'm on the battle for the 6th area. So the 5th boss battle, before I actually have the spikes online. And even then, that's when I need them to all die. So on the 7th wing plus, that's when I'm really actually dealing damage. Sorry, 6th wing plus, that's when I'm actually really dealing damage with them. I also don't necessarily love the idea of just having, you know, giant damage bumps in the deck. I don't usually like tools like that. Spark Driver colonies could end up getting ascended to the top line, getting hit with Cultivate. I'm taking so long this decision because I believe this is actually where I choose if I win or lose, basically. Let's think about it this way, right? Let's go back for just a second to the logbook and have a look. Unit, Hellhorned. Which of these have unit essences? Because it's the Hellhorned unit we find. Which of these have unit essences that I would really want to put out on that floor? Fledgling Imp, actually, but that's not a banner unit. Armor 10, Rage 10. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. Maybe I just play them like units for spells, for damage, basically. Give them endless so they propagate through the deck consistently. Branded Warrior, Deranged Brute. Resolve to apply 5 armor to war-friendly units from the Steelworker would be kind of cool. Plus 30-30 from Demon Friend would actually be enough to happily take the extra capacity there. Growing on Strike doesn't happen consistently because they barely live long at all. I'm going to take this. I'm not thrilled about it. Do I give them all Permafrost and Extreme Stone just so I hold in hand 30 damage answers to things? It's not a bad way to deal with them. And then I can actually start using them. As for the rest of these, the Restoration Detonation really needs an upgrade, but so do the Glimmers. We do need to be able to actually deal AoE damage. Don't like that I had to do that. I really wish I could have done that in a different way. Double stack. Take the double stack on the Wildwood, sure. And then a plus 20 in Consume can go on the Vent. Hidden Passage isn't consistently getting used right now. Eventually it will be, though. And the final thing that we do have to still do here is the Husk Hermit does have to go into the Awoken Hollow. Don't love that part. We're very high on these. Okay, how low can I set up? How low can you go? Not as low as I would like to there. Oof. God, I know how I have to do this, and I hate it. That goes there, the Awoken Hollow goes behind it, the Hornbreaker goes here. And now we need to ascend the Hornbreaker. Oh! Never mind. Everything's fine. Whee! back to the bottom floor. There goes our perfect. So this deals 50 damage right now. It could just kill the overcharged apprentice for us. And then we kill the entire line. It also gets the automatic Railspikes starting to propagate through the deck, which is ideal. Let's pop you down there. As many cultivate triggers as we can on that line, and then 51, 15. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to deal much more than that right there. To those enemies specifically. Yeah. Same situation here, unfortunately. Every time I play one of these restores, I'm actually increasing the amount of damage I'm going to take pretty significantly, but the thing is, I also need to do it because now the Hornbreaker Prince is in the wrong position. This with piercing would actually be really good as well. Didn't think about that at the time. This wants to live through 2 hits, at least. This is so rude. If that killed right now, we would be in such a great position. Dang. I mean, like, we're fine. It still wins. But now I have 3 Awoken Railspikes in the deck, rather than 4 right now. How many am I going to end up with at this rate? Cycle of Life. Last Standard Impelate. None of these are really us. We don't really gain or give rage at all in this deck. We don't really have imps. And we want Slade triggers to go on the Hornbreaker Prince rather than anyone else. Hornbreaker Prince already has a way to gain health. God. It might actually be nothing here. So regrettable. Wilting Sapwood, possibly an expensive Hellhorned unit here. Something that maybe we want to overstack. Or maybe then Wilting Sapwood, in the worst case scenario, just goes on its own floor to try and gain us revenge triggers. Are we a capacity gamer? Right now we're a draw gamer. All right. Divine Temple has a spell chain and intrinsic. All right, see how it goes. There's the alpha friend. That's some scaling. Starts very low though. Competing slays on the branded warrior doesn't feel like a good idea. Sometimes you take what you can get. Yeah. I think I duped the hidden passage here. We're going to engage the pact still. That is the Wilting Sapwood going into the Alpha Friend. So much. The thing is, I do have a plan with them, but the plan is to give myself the thing that I am seriously lacking right now, which is the ability... Well, what am I seriously lacking right now? Scaling defense, scaling offense. We need to actually be able to get the Hornbreaker to be able to commit any kills on board, but the Hoard automatic Railspikes are ways to try and set that up. What I'm missing is the ability for killing two big dudes. That's what we're just fundamentally missing right now. Gets easier when we take a level of Brawler here, though. Which I think we do right now. Random artifact for non-boss enemy units gain multi-strike. So the vast majority of the Quill Marksmen are going to be killed with spells instead of anything else, regardless of whether or not they are fractured, because then I still have the automatic spikes as a way to try and accomplish that. The thing is, it also now feels to me... I've been avoiding these challenges, by the way, so this isn't me trying to justify just picking it up, but it feels to me right now that the way to bail out is to find Grg's Goad, is to find Perori's Cloak, is to... Like, there are a lot of things that I need to try and bail us out right now. We are currently on a trajectory to lose. Hidden Passage demands that I set up higher. I do want to pop that there, but I'm going to have spells that need to be cast every turn, basically. I'll go there. I'm not going to automatic Railspike just yet. Mm-hmm. Get your regen, bud. Take that one out. I don't need to take this one out right now, but again, I probably do. Ultimately take it out, that is. Not probably do actually need to take it out right now, despite the thing that I said. None of these are going to be sweeping. It's just the frontline stealth matters. You can ascend now. That vent can finish off this midline. Go there to try and confirm the kill. Then... The thing is, the Hornbreaker really does need to start scaling. So what, 15 off of your health takes you to 60, which means if I use the extra automatic Railspike, now the Hornbreaker Prince is actually getting that kill. We're gonna have to, like, consciously set up a bunch of slays here. This one is already a slay, thankfully. This bottom line is exactly where the Glimmer goes, so that I can reveal the 2 Quill Marksmen for kills later. Unfortunately, with the Hornbreaker Prince getting these kills, the Alpha Friend isn't growing. This is something I knew was going to happen at the time. This wants to strike, this wants to slay. Which is going to put us multiple times in a position where the Alpha Friend is just not going to attack. It's not going to be able to scale. So it's only good when we're not able to deal with 2 big dudes, which is not when you want it to be good. Up as much regen as I can is good here. Permanent copy of this card to the discard pile. How many of them do I ultimately want to have in the deck? Because I got 4 right now. I can turn that to 6. They're pretty powerful. Rage spikes. I mean, I'm not going to even take a layer of rage off of you by doing anything here. Okay. Nice. All's well that ends well there. 3+ magic power is actually huge. Like, obviously, we got Awoken Railspikes, but it's great on the Glimmers, it's great on the heals individually, it's great on the torches, great on the vents. This is perfect relic for us right now. I'm so glad that I took that challenge. Tiresome Climb. Ascend a unit and apply Dazed 2. That's interesting. Because we've also got the Iron Cage applying Dazed 2. So this is Ascend a unit, apply Dazed 4 if I target an enemy with it. That might just be a good tool to have. Is Impish Scholar something I desperately want? No, ultimately that's just going to be returning the Awoken Railspikes. Automatic Railspikes, rather. Pyagro. Yeah, I think that makes it so much easier for me to take the next as a draw as well. There's a Divine Artifact here. Huh. Interesting. Do I feel pressed? I think that's a really good question right now. Do I feel pressed? I don't think I do. Sorrow of Sorrows. Do I die to the Sorrow of Sorrows? So that is sweep, lifesteal. AB dealing 16, right? Or is it 22? I don't know how much health the Hornbreaker had by the end of that, but I think it was significant enough to be able to deal with that in maybe 3 cycles. I can get to 3. Sorry, I can get to 2 easily. Can I get to 3? Probably not as easily. Oh, but maybe I end up dazing the unit, right? As it's doing its relentless phase. Dazing it for 2 turns would get us the win. Okay. Okay, so I don't feel too pressed by that. Self-made Harpy? No, fine against the Self-made Harpy. We have a very, very healthy frontliner. That's totally okay for us. Self-made Harpy. Crystal Cloak is the other consideration. Crystal Cloak, I also feel fine against. I'm just wondering, is there ever a world where I turn this down for the 25? I think there is. I think it's the one we live in. Get the improvement to the Railspike. Get plus 10 magic power, and they now consume. I don't really have many minion upgrades just yet, so I'm kind of being driven over this side here. Large stone, heart stone, strength stone. Conceal cavern first. Interesting. Really interesting. So Penitent Remains would give us 3 more dead weight. We have 2 in the base deck. And units would come out with 10 additional damage, so +2 for every blight in the deck. It's worth noting that in the Seraph the Diligent boss fight, there are going to be 3 additional blights in the deck. So they would come out with an additional 6 damage. Which is not bad for, you know, a multi-striker and things like that, and things that need to be a little bit more impactful as they come out for the first time. However, playing a blight card deals 120 damage to the front enemy unit. So this is going to be bad right now. But the Seraph the Diligent fight specifically, as I said, is going to add those Vengeful Shards. Literally adds these. And as it does that, I will be able to use those to nuke frontliners from the enemy, right? Making it a lot easier for me to actually start scaling. I think I take the one with the Ember specifically for that reason. Here, Heartstone happily goes on Awoken Hollow. I'm not even too mad at the idea of putting a that upgrade into the Alpha Friend. But the Alpha Friend could also take Large Stone, because it just goes in the midline and then gets ascended afterwards, right? Pretty much all the time. This will make it survive longer while it's standing there by itself. I like that. Yeah, it's obviously the one that wants multi-strike. And another Heartstone on you. I feel really good with those unit upgrades. Do I take a Divine Boons? Do I have a Merchant of Trinkets in the next area? I do. It's opposite a Hellvent, Unstable Vortex, and Higher Remains. Am I likely to Hellvent anything there? Not particularly. Yeah, so I'm taking this for the Merchant Trinkets in the next area. It did put me back above the pack shard limit that I wanted to be at, though. Enemy units enter with armor 15. They don't even die to a single glimmer anymore. It's really threatening. The only change it makes is they don't die to a single glimmer. Other than that, the breakpoints are we still kill them. Broadly. There's one of the hidden passages. Unfortunate. One of these is getting played on the top floor this turn no matter what, so... Let's ascend you, actually, because then next turn you go up here, you don't even die to the frontliner, you die to the Hornbreak Prince. It's kind of ideal for us. And then set a backline here to possibly die to a Glimmer. There's that Glimmer. Or there's a Glimmer. That one wouldn't necessarily actually be lethal. Although it does get the Collector, which is worthy. Okay. I draw 6 cards each turn, so I can hold these still. Again, same. You could go to the top and be dazed for 4 rounds. Take... yeah, take 30 damage. each time. So you could actually just die like that right now. That actually has like a deep appeal. And the depth of its appeal is because if I don't have to use Vent, I can get 2 more Slay triggers on the Hornbreaker Prince. If I have to use Vent, I can still get 1 Slay trigger on the Hornbreaker Prince. I've got to think about Crystal Cloak, and Crystal Cloak is asking me to keep the Awoken Hollow as healthy as I can. That's what it's asking me to do. These also have +3 damage on, so... Pop that on that line. There, the upgraded Glimmer can now actually take them. I should definitely just use one of these to kill a backliner. Yeah, because this is allowing the Alpha Friend to get hits out. Getting some scaling's pretty good. If I can ascend the Sycophant past the Crystal Cloak, or the Crystal Cloak past the Sycophant so that it doesn't get that damage increase, that'd be really nice. Allows us to project our damage as far as possible. I honestly think my best shot at this is getting you stunned for 2 turns. Another turn of drawing healing spells. Would that be enough? Would that... would the extra 2 turns of healing spells overcome 24 damage? That's the question to ask, right? Possibly? Not guaranteed. In fact, quite unlikely. Sometimes when the play is down between 2 different things, I don't need to go all the way down the line of figuring out, will this actually work? I just have to figure out which one is better than the other one, or which one is just statistically edging out the other one. Because then if that one doesn't work, then nothing was going to work, right? When you've got it boiled down to, you know, as simple as thing as just comparing 2. Impressive, as well as Branding Right, as well as March of Shields. I'm not mad at any of these, but I'm also not thrilled about any of them. I'm kind of mad, actually, at some of them, I think. Engraft. So Engraft is a heal trigger that also gives us an energy next turn. This turn, and gives us an extra draw next turn. Extra draws are going to be less valuable as I get another draw gem pretty soon, and I've got, you know, cards that I am actually looking to kind of hold. Vibrant. Again. Makes it so easy to take the next as a draw gem. God. That Divine Hoard takes us back to 100. I didn't want to be back at 100 yet. Well... Too late to do summon ability stuff. Unless we took that and then re-rolled and done. Actually, you know what? Before I take any of those, I should look at the Concealed Cabinet as well as this Divine Hoard. I can't take Petrified Heart here. I can take another Heartstone, just put that on the Awoken Hollow in the front line. It's totally not bad at all to do. Get even heartier, friend. When we're already going to be drawing 7 cards on turn 1, Lost Luggage makes less sense. Tap is just a draw. Pretty much every single turn for us. Gaining extra damage on Slay is nice. It is. This is already going to go to... Well, actually, maybe I take the second level of this as a second level of Brawler, get an extra multi-strike so it can project damage even further. Which basically is me asking, like, does Consumed Crown really contribute much? Well, if I go for an extra multi-strike, then yeah, it's a pretty huge contribution, in fact. I'm gonna have to go for an extra, right? So my spells aren't gonna be able to carry me past the TLD fight. And by the fact that I'm ascending, I'm assured to set up on the top floor. I need draw. That's what I really need. Just need more draw. But I don't have any access to that right now. It feels so slow. Like, I really want to reroll looking for Grig's Goad or just anything that provides draw. I'm gonna take it and leave. Sometimes when I want to do a thing, I shouldn't do the thing. Alright. There we go. This is fine, I guess. It's a lot of automatic Railspikes to be holding in hand, friend. I mean, that's probably going to be a dead wall anyway, so we can use that, I think. I really don't want to have to double daze my own unit to send them up here. So 63. You can actually do that. It's fine. Because then I can use later hidden passages just to get enemies instead. Good damage right there. Yep. Hit a Slay with a Hornbreaker Prince. You know what? You go up there too. Huh? How are you alive? Oh, you're still dazed. Oh, that's fine. You actually still are going to be dazed by the time you get to the top line, so you still die in that way. So it works out fine, but... Yeah, I was really hoping the Alpha Friend would have gotten some hits in there. The kind of ideal I was looking for. Am I okay with the enemy doing that sweep? Because this Master of Light is gonna start getting buffed soon. $15.75. Like, I can actually ascend this Clipped Guardian here. There we go. That looks pretty good. As for the rest of these... Yes. Good heal, good heal. Again, don't need to do anything here. Another 2 slays for our Hornbreaker Prince. And if I ascend you, another single hit for the Alpha Friend. Actually, I could have ascended the Clips and gotten 2 hits for the Alpha Friend there. Now, I do need to actually start getting these calcified embers out of the deck. Here's a really good opportunity to get one out. Anytime I'm presented with the opportunity to do that, I should. Throw those away basically wherever I can. It's really annoying. I would like to draw that next turn. Ah, well. I can't really tie some climb you or anything like that, but I feel pretty good about how this has all gone. You can see a couple holes emerging in our plan. Woken Railspike. I love it literally just for having extra draw in the deck. We'll consume remove if we can. Speaking of extra draw in the deck. There's no way it's something like capacity. No, it's not. There's no way it's something like Enid. No, again, it's not. It's draw. We did 2 capacities in the last episode, alright? I'm allowed. I don't have the ability to upgrade extra units still. Over here I could try and find the consume removal, something like that. Across -1. Okay, value stone. Spell check. I may take nothing there. Would I even engage? Alright, Dark Forge. Do your dark business. So every time this gets a slay, it scales by 40 damage, effectively, output in a single round. Assuming there's one enemy on board, right? This scales by 30. Or rather, this actually scales by... this scales by 36. And this scales by 44. So the Consume Crown brings them a little closer together. As I mentioned for the Brawler 2. The fact that I don't have the ability to apply rage to my units through many things at all is leaning me a little away from the brawler. But the fact that I have cultivate triggers is leaning me back towards it. You know what? I think we need the extra multi-strikes to project damage as much as we need. As consistently as we need, specifically in the TLD fight at the very end. The Awoken Railspike, are we going to be upgrading it at the very end of the game? Yes. Well, no. Yes and no? We want to dupe it. There's a Divine Hoard here at the end. Okay, so we're not even going Divine Temple before we do a dupe. I want to make it intrinsic. Probably not. -1 costing it, and then trying to find a consume removal seems good still, though. This doesn't go anywhere, does it? No. There's the consume removal. -1 costing matters so much less right now. That'd be a good dupe target. It's just I'm not going to be duping in the next area. Or rather, I am going to be duping, but I'm going to be duping the Awoken Railspike. Because ultimately the deck is going to get to 0 cost, and then we're just going to be flurrying things out. Which means actually my focus here is on removals. The 2 shiny stewards will end up removing themselves from the deck. And we might actually now be in a position where we do care, like we're fine with those removing themselves as kind of like effective purges. And what we really want to do is just start removing our own torches. I don't want to use too much of my money right now, though. Okay. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. It's totally fine by me. We do most of our killing on a single floor unless we're instantaneously killing a target, in which case it really doesn't matter. Go there, go there. Should at least kill one of them. Good. Awoken Hollow, we ascend you. This is only drawing 1 right now. Use the torch on the back line. We've still got a lot of AoE cards in the deck that we haven't drawn. I think we will do that, man. Here are the AoE cards. Or rather, here is an AoE card. Good. So to get you close enough to kill, I would have to go 1, 2... Does 23 do it from here? 23 does do it from here. Right? No, you go to 70... 76 from this. So 1 more Awoken Railspike. Gets us our first Slay there. Do I need to set up any following lines just yet? I think I do. That one. Unfortunately, you're not getting any slay triggers yet, which is the big problem. Well, So 15 across the enemy, and then if they were, yeah, even if they were smaller with the Awoken Railspike, you're still not getting a slay there. This does mean the Alpha Friend has time to grow. It means if I miss with one, I'm hitting with the other one, which is nice. It would have been nice if we drew an AoE card there. 99. That's what we need to do. Get our first slay trigger. Get some more scaling out. Top line is starting to take care of itself. We're not sending too many units to the top floor each turn. Which isn't exactly ideal, but it's okay. Okay, there's the extra slay we were looking for. Sorry about the little bit of silent focus here. It's about the right scaling for us. I want to tie some Climb You. 4 turns. 4 turns if you don't attack. Yeah, I definitely want to tie some Climb You. Four turns of you don't attack while I'm regenning, no less. That's right. Sure. Nice. Not that anything really seemed necessary right at that point. So the Alpha Friend is really a relentless phase. That's what it's really accomplishing for us right now. Battering Ram, we don't really build armor on that floor. Impish Scholar, unlikely. March of Shields, again, quite unlikely. Focus Growth for a 28 heal, draw +2 next turn. Totally reasonable. An Edge Prior that I try and wait for the right turn to be able to send it to the top floor. The thing is, the Awoken Railspike is going to eventually make all of our restores free. It's not like they're really contributing. Kind of like a preventative factor for us right now. We'll take the Focus Growth. I think that's still fine. So I still want to go for the dupe and double removal. Double removal would be 2 torches. The dupe target would be the Awoken Railspike specifically. We built, yeah, we'd still have to do that. Commit to that. We don't have a way to gain rage. Cleansing Water could be useful. Hell's Banners. We don't summon that many units at all. So it's fine on turn 1, I guess. Look at the Merchant of Steel, despite the fact that we have nothing we can really hit it with right now, unless we end up getting our highest stone housing from this. So the correct order then is... Onto the Divine Hoard, giving us some information. Regen restores +1 health per stack is pretty big. Split Anvil's nice, but it's going to be nice for, like, 2 rounds. And then after that point, we have more energy than we know what to do with. Dupe has to be the Awoken Railspike. The double removal still have to be the torches. I would love to give quick to the Alpha Friend, so if we get Pious Stone housing here, I'm pretty happy about that. Would I prefer Cleansing Water or 2 more removals? 2 more removals. So we reroll. Spells get an extra upgrade slot. That's not what I was looking for. Yeah, so we're just gonna pay for pretty expensive removals for the rest of this, I feel. Right? Conserve energy between turns is not bad. It's certainly not bad. Actually, we can take that. We can take that and we'll be pretty happy about that. That said, the rest of it is definitely purging. Get a torch out of there. Get a second torch out of there. Final card that I don't want to see again. Vent? Yeah, the one that doesn't consume. We've still got the... No, I've used all of mine. Okay, cool. Let's go Seraph the Diligent. Alright, we can do this. We can do this. We're already being asked to set up low to try and deal with purifiers. We're going to deal with those with spells. We have to. No two ways around that one. Okay. Hornbreaker, Awoken. Get the one that already consumes out first, so we can keep this. Okay. Alpha Friend goes out. Alpha Friend goes up after we play a Pyro first, so that we don't consume the card that we want to keep. I feel like I'd Pyre Chomper and throw out the Awoken Railspike early rather than go for a Focus Growth right now. And then at the end of the turn, I can use an Awoken Railspike to kill the Purifier if I really need to still. Second copy of Pyro going out on the same turn. That starts to feel a bit bad. Certainly. But I think I'm okay with it. That'll also kill all the backliners for us. Then we use the automatic Railspikes to set up the early slays. I really like this pattern that's kind of emerging here of setting up early slays using the automatic Railspikes. You down 2. Just hold for the rest. I'm actually going to turn the resolution speed down to Ultra. Just so we can see the slays get gained. That's such a dramatically important part of this right now. So the Vengeful Shards are now a huge amount of damage for us too. Can't overlook that. $15 and 45 by 3 is 150, so we know that the Slayer is coming out from the Hornbreaker Prince there. And then we know the Alpha Friend in the backline would really like to hit something, if it could. If I gave you 80 damage right now. So you take... Actually, if I gave you the Vengeful Shard, then I could try and ascend this Gilded Wing. Make more use out of the turn. I like that. The only problem is I am going to have to also cast another card there. Because now this unit's come up, we get the Slay Trigger with the Hornbreaker Prince, and then the Alpha Friend also gets to start scaling more. Definitely want to get you out of the cycle. I'll draw a single card. Hey, making that single card 0 cost is totally comfy with me. There's our scaling. Unfortunately, the ones that already consume are highest cost cards, so I'm having to chump other cards a little bit. Which is okay, it happens. I'm gonna draw 9 cards next turn, really? What am I doing with all these Awoken Railspikes? I think I do actually still want to increase the cycle through my deck, though, so I think I will actually do that. Speaking of increasing the cycle through my deck, let's get that card out of there. That'll do. There's another Slay Trigger for us. Next ball goes up. That is at least 1 Slay Trigger, possibly 2 if I want to throw out the Awoken Railspike here. What I really want to do right now is use Hidden Passages on Seraph the Diligent, start building up something on them. dazed 4 now. Get rid of that Vengeful Shard before I go for the first Awakened Railspike here. Really wish I could cast that right now. Fine. I gotta remember, I don't need to use excess energy on turns that it's not actually helping us at all. I keep forgetting that. You stay up here, bud. Okay, working around spike hits 5. Nice. Look at this tiresome climb. 11 turns of dazed on the boss. I feel pretty confident now. There's those 2 slay triggers, and we also lined it up such that the alpha friend in the backline got both of its strikes because of the ascensions. Get him! Oh my god. You know, I actually am probably best served by going, like, up you get. Get. How well it serves me? Honestly, it's literally just like that amount of days means we have the kill in time. So I could have gotten more damage by just farming out slay triggers on the next 2 lines, but we're probably going to win here with still 9 on the enemy. Oh, no, 10 dazed rounds on the enemy left there. Okay, so we have enough access to daze. I feel like that, at least, I'm pretty confident with. I want to go the top line still. Just to set up a little rougher on us. Speaking of making that a little rougher on us, yikes. 15, so I can survive 2 rounds of being hit with the last Divinity set. I mean, this will draw a card as well. Let's draw a card and lower its... Draw a card and lower its cost. Should have known. Alright. Go up. Upsy daisy. Still gonna need something like that. You have to die. I think that Shadewing probably has to die as well. Set you up to be able to die on a later turn. Because the thing is, I draw 9 cards next turn. That's why I have to throw some of those out. First things first, we probably end up using the hidden passage here. Start saving my HP a little bit. I'd like an AoE that doesn't take all of my energy for the rest of the turn. A single Glimmer left in the deck. I could try and fish for that using a Restore right now. I think I should. Did it anyway. Definitely shouldn't have. Yeah. I got one slay on the Hornbreaker there. Way to Contrition's getting out to the top of our draw pile there, Dale. Still not thrilled about that one either. Play the Pyro on its own fields. Glimmer will get us a draw there. Harvest does 15 to all allies. You have a Extinguish and Resolve trigger, so you can go down there on the bottom line safely. We'll use a Pyre Chomper before I throw this at anyone. Nice. There's our first slay. 2 more scales on the Alpha Friend. I think I let the Weight of Contrition stay. No, I have to get it through. A lot of damage making its way to our top floor. I think I'm dead. I am not. I am just not. How do I do more damage here? I don't think that's enough. Yep. Chains decided it's going to go to the top floor and kill us. We didn't get scaling big enough, fast enough. That's exactly what happened there. Part of me feels bad just because I'm almost entirely certain that I missed a Slay trigger or two in that final. And a Slay trigger or two would have been what was between me and a win. Or at least continuing to live. How big would the Slay trigger have had to have... 200? Maybe the problem was taking Brawler level 2 rather than Reaper level 2. Maybe I did just need the faster scaling, despite the fact that I wouldn't be able to project the damage as far, because I can use the automatic Railspikes and the Alpha Friend to try and project the damage further. I think that easily could have been a differentiating factor there as well. But, for the moment, my name's Rhapsody, the name of the game. This has been Monster Train The Last Divinity. Still quite pleased with that run overall. Lifetime Stopped Sushi is a fate that I don't wish upon my worst enemy, but it is the custom challenge code for this match. If you would like to use that at all, maybe see if you could eke a couple extra slays out of that last fight. For the moment, though, My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train: The Lost Divinity. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see you next time.